Hello everybody, welcome back to Mental Health for America. Today we're going to be covering some mental illnesses to help raise awareness of these mental illnesses so that people have a better understanding of what's going on with the people that are affected by certain mental illnesses. Today we're going to cover schizophrenia, anxiety and the different types of it, and obsessive compulsive disorder, also known as the OCD. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and get started. Schizophrenia is defined as a brain disorder in which people interpret reality abnormally. The causes of schizophrenia are unknown. The exact cause is unknown, but it is said that genetics, a person's environment, and an imbalanced brain chemical may play a role in schizophrenia. Symptoms often include hallucinations, delusions, and disordered thinking. Treatment is usually lifelong and often involves a combination of medications as well as psychological and social therapy. Schizophrenia is a mental illness that you cannot get rid of. Most of the time, once you're diagnosed with schizophrenia, you will have schizophrenia for the rest of your life. This is a mental illness that is not going away. People are going to have to learn how to deal with it. The best way to learn how to deal with it is to educate yourself and the people around you. The next time you hear somebody say, "Oh, don't worry about him, he's just a schizo," you need to step in and correct them. You need to let them know this is not something that they control. This is something that controls them, and they cannot do anything about it. The fact that they are out and functioning in society already says a world of things about this person that has schizophrenia. They are trying to beat the illness, which is the best thing you can do in a mental illness case. Schizophrenia affects between 200,000 to 3 million U.S. cases per year. That's just here in the United States of America, which means when you think about it on a global scale, that number probably quadruples. That's a lot of people. These are people that are doctors. Sometimes they're lawyers, teachers. All ranges of people, all walks of life can have schizophrenia, and they do. This is something that's not going away. Another mental illness that is very big here in the United States of America is anxiety. Anxiety is defined as a nervous disorder characterized by a state of excessive uneasiness and apprehension, typically with compulsive behavior or panic attacks. There are several types of anxiety disorders, to include panic disorder, social anxiety disorders, specific phobias such as being scared of spiders or heights, and generalized anxiety disorder. Anxiety is a normal human emotion that everybody experiences at times. Many people feel anxious or nervous when faced with a problem at work, before taking a big test, or making any important decisions, such as the one that is used the most in the United States, I believe, would be cold feet. Whenever you go to get married, "Oh, you just have cold feet." What that person is feeling is anxiety, and at that stage, it is perfectly normal to be experiencing that feeling. However, anxiety disorders are different. They can cause such a distress that it interferes with a person's ability to lead a normal life. An anxiety disorder is a serious mental illness. For people with anxiety disorders, worry and fear are constant and overwhelming. They can be crippling at times. Anxiety disorders are the most common mental illness in the United States of America, affecting 40 million adults age 18 and older. That's 18% of the United States population. 18%! That is a lot of people. Think about the city you live in. Think about the closest, biggest city around you. Take 18% of that city and color it a different color. That's the population just in your city. You'll find this is a very large chunk of people that suffer from anxiety disorders. There are many types of anxiety disorders, as I mentioned before. We're going to go ahead and go over a couple of them so that way there's a better understanding about what's going on with these anxiety disorders. The first one we're going to cover is called a panic disorder. People with this condition have feelings of terror that strike suddenly and repeatedly, often with no warning at all. They could just be standing there and then be overcome with a panic. They are called panic attacks. That's why the name is called panic disorder. Other symptoms of panic attacks include sweating, chest pains. Sometimes these chest pains can almost feel like you're having a heart attack. You get this giant lump right here in the center of your chest, and it doesn't go away. Some people also report the feeling of choking. This may make a person feel like he or she is going crazy. This is the most common of the anxiety disorders. This is the one that most people see the most, both in public and in the home setting. Another form of anxiety disorder is social anxiety disorder. It's also called social phobia. It involves overwhelming worry of self-consciousness about everyday social situations, interacting with people, going to the grocery store and having to interact with the cashier or a bag boy. The worry often centers on a fear of being judged by others or behaving in a way that might cause embarrassment or leading to ridicule. Anybody suffering with social anxiety disorder is in constant fear that somebody is going to laugh at them or that somebody is going to judge them and make them feel like less of a person. This is a horrible feeling to have. It really is. Another form of anxiety is the specific phobias. A specific phobia is an intensive fear of a specific object or situation. A couple examples of a specific phobia would be snakes, spiders, heights, flying, things of this nature. The level of fear is usually inappropriate to the situation and may cause the person to avoid common, everyday situations. A really good example is you see a spider somewhere that is the size of this dime right here. To somebody with a specific phobia from spiders specifically, this dime-sized spider has now become the size of my fist. Can you think about how terrifying that would be to somebody? It's horrible. Another type of anxiety disorder is what they classify as generalized anxiety disorder. This disorder involves excessive, unrealistic worry and tension, even if there is little or nothing to provoke the anxiety at all. The source for that was the National Institute of Mental Health. That is a great organization to learn about anything related to mental health. They have it all. They have symptoms, they have treatment. If you ever get a time, you just go on to Google. The abbreviation is NIMH. If you just Google NIMH, it will pull it up, I guarantee it. You click on the link there and it will tell you anything that you would possibly want to know. We're also going to cover obsessive compulsive disorder, which is also known as OCD. Personally, I hear OCD being joked about the most. It is something that you hear all the time. I personally hear it everywhere from being at bank to being at Walmart. I hear it at work a lot. This isn't a joke. The people that have this disorder, it is not a joke to them. This is something that cripples their life. Obsessive compulsive disorder is defined as unreasonable thoughts and fears that lead to a compulsive behavior. OCD often centers on themes such as the fear of germs or the need to arrange objects in a specific manner. Symptoms usually begin gradually and vary throughout life, which means they can get worse or they can get better. Treatment usually includes talk therapy, medications, or both. OCD affects between 200,000 and 3 million cases a year. That's just a year, which is also a very, very large number. That's just some of the disorders. We're going to make another video here probably between now and Sunday. And we're going to go ahead and cover them. We'll cover dementia, ADD or ADHD. Surprisingly, they are very similar. We will also be covering something that is a very big topic post 9/11. That would be PTSD. Contrary to popular belief, it is a real mental disorder. We will also be touching a little bit on autism. We just want to go ahead and remind everybody to seek help if you feel that you need it. You are not going to get turned away. If you do, feel free to email us. We will find a way to get you help. In the event that that's just unrealistic, if it's in the middle of the night, a holiday, for instance, a lot of places are closed on holidays. I don't personally believe like this is right, but it does happen here in the United States. I'm going to go ahead and give you some numbers that you can text, since texting has become such a big thing nowadays, or that you can call. The first number I'm going to give you is going to be the crisis text line. Pretty much all you have to do is the number that you're going to be texting is 741 741. All you have to do is text the word GO. That's all you have to do. This service is 24/7, 365, and is strictly 100% confidential. Another couple things that a couple phone numbers here that you could use is the National Suicide Prevention Line. In the event that you're having maybe some suicidal thoughts, this is a very good number to call. These people can help you. If you need somebody to talk to, these people are there for you to talk to. The number for that is 1-800-273-8255. Again, that number is 1-800-273-8255. That's a 24/7, 365 lines also. For veterans of the country, if you press 1 after you dial that number when you're prompted to, it will take you to a separate line. We also have a number here for the Disaster Distress Helpline. That would be 1-800-985-5990. Any of these numbers here, these people can help you 365, 24/7. They're there. They're there to listen. They're there to help you. They're there to offer solutions to the problem. In the event that you can't go immediately to see a counselor, feel free to text. If you're not a big phone call person, or if you're worried about talking to somebody, text. Texting has become a great tool in the mental health industry. The fact that you can text somebody anonymously, basically, and get the help that you need, even for the time being, is a very, very powerful tool to have at your disposal, and it would be a shame if we didn't use it. We would like to encourage anybody that has a mental health story that they would like to share to go ahead and email it to us. We'll drop a link down here below for everybody that would like to do that, an email address. If you would like to stay confidential, just state at the beginning of your story that you do not want us to release your name. We are okay with that. Your story may help somebody else, and we've got to stick together with mental illness. Mental illness is not going away. It is going to get worse before it gets better. Here at Mental Health for America, we're here to help that process along. Thank you. Have a good evening.